Have I ever told you all that I absolutely hate dealing with Dominican banks? I mean, I hate dealing with Dominican banks. Well, in this video, I will break down why I hate dealing with Dominican banks and also the benefits of some Dominican banks that I have experienced working with. So stay tuned.
Couldn't take it no more, so I left the matrix.
And my money just tripled. I had a good time and it cost me a little. So I found peace, tranquility, faith in my
I
abilities.
couldn't fake no more, so I left the matrix.
So thank you for tuning in with Prophet Gayu. In this video, I will talk about 4 major banks in the Dominican Republic. Those banks are Banco de Reservas, also known as BanReservas, Banco Popular, Banco BH de Leon, and Banco Santa Cruz. Now, I have quite an extensive experience with those 4 banks, so that's why I feel like I can give you all some information on those 4 banks. So firstly, if you are a frequent traveler to the Dominican Republic and you are looking at opening a bank account in the Dominican Republic, the easiest banks to deal with for frequent travelers to the DR, or people who maybe are snowbirds or spend maybe like a few months out of the year in DR, if that's the case, I recommend dealing with Banco de Reservas or Banco Santa Cruz. Now, if you are someone that is actually taking up residence here in the Dominican Republic, I recommend dealing with Banco Popular, Banco BH de Leon, but I would say mostly Banco Popular and Banco de Reservas. So now I am going to break down the pros and cons of each bank. And now first I start with my least favorite. And my least favorite is Banco BH de Leon. Now you will ask, why is Banco BH de Leon your least favorite? I'll say this. That bank was the first bank, Dominican bank, that I opened an account with. And I opened up a savings account in pesos, and soon after that, I opened up a credit card account. So I got a credit card, and I actually got a garante, which is a guarantor, a Dominican guarantor for that credit card, and the limit was $13,000. I said $13,000, excuse me. 13,000 pesos. And it was only pesos, so I could only use that card in the Dominican Republic. And for a while, I didn't have any real significant issues. The issues came about with Banco BH de, outside of the long lines, outside of the mediocre, or not even mediocre, underperforming customer service, and their failure to just give the proper information time and time again. Banco BH de Leon is administratively is not the best out of these banks. However, Banco BH de Leon makes up for that for their numerous branches that are located throughout the country. I mean, they are everywhere. Also, they have ATMs everywhere. And the good thing about Banco BH de is if you have a debit card or ATM card, debit card with Banco de Reservas, you can use the ATM of Banco BH de and not get charged ATM fees, and vice versa. So that's a really cool thing about Banco BH de Leon. Apart from that, Banco BH de Leon is the choice of a lot of small business owners in the Dominican Republic. So when you have a small business and you have your employees, you actually part of the the employee hiring process is setting them up with a bank, and with small businesses, Banco BH de Leon is one of the more favored banks for that reason. In addition, Banco BH de Leon, they have quite a vast majority of services that they offer. So that's another good thing about Banco BH de. Even though it's very limited to folks who are maybe frequent travelers to DR or do not hold a residency card or are not citizens, their services are very limited. However, just so you know, if you are a frequent traveler or you do not have residency in DR or you are not a Dominican citizen, you can still open an account with Banco BH de Leon, just as I did before I was a resident. And also, you can get a credit card, just as I did before I was a resident. So that pretty much sums up with Banco BH de. Like I said, they offer, if you're into CDs, they offer CDs, they offer dollar accounts, they offer accounts in, I believe they also have accounts in euros. And of course in pesos. They offer car loans, mortgages, personal loans, different classifications of credit cards. A lot of the banks here in DR, their credit cards they offer is not just pesos. They offer sort of like a dollar peso credit card. So therefore, let's just say you open a credit card account and you'll have a limit of 50,000 pesos, but then you have a limit of also $1,000. So you'll be able to use both dollars and pesos on that card, which is pretty cool. And when that happens, that just shows you that you can use your card internationally. Like you go to another country and you can use that card, whereas that may not be the case if you just open up a peso credit card. The next bank I'll discuss is Banco Santa Cruz. Now, Banco Santa Cruz is definitely the most preferred bank for foreigners. In my opinion, you will find that a lot of foreigners and frequent travelers, frequent tourists or snowbirders or long-term tourists, whatever, they definitely see they definitely flock to Banco Santa Cruz. And the reason why is I feel like Banco Santa Cruz is located in all the tourist spots. Also, though they're not one of the biggest banks here in DR, they definitely are foreigner friendly, where they're very clear about their requirements, and their process is pretty straightforward in opening up a bank account. Of course, they offer bank accounts in dollars and pesos. And one thing that is important to note, that with a lot of these banks, whether you open up an account in pesos or dollars, is that they have a minimum requirement. So I know in my experience with Banco Santa Cruz, the minimum requirement for a peso account was 3,000 pesos, and the minimum requirement for a dollar account was $500. So therefore, at the end of the month, you want to make sure you have those minimums in there. Otherwise, they'll charge you 500 pesos in a peso account or $10 in the dollar account. So the requirements are a bit longer for Banco Santa Cruz than it was for BHD. But again, I opened up the account with Banco Santa Cruz. I was not a resident, and I'm not a citizen. So when I opened up the account, I needed to have like a letter from work, my employment, or if you're retired, you need some sort of retirement or pension letter. Of course, I needed a guarantor. And basically that guarantor didn't have to come. All I did was had a copy of the front and back of their cedula, and then that was it. Bank account statements from the U.S., passport, and my passport I was not outside of the 30 days, so I was still good. I was within the 30 days of my tourist visa. So, and a few more things, right? Their list was a little longer than BHD, but not much longer. And they were more straightforward with the process. Let's see. BHD, again, Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz has CDs, they have credit cards and various levels of credit cards. Of course, they do mortgages, car loans, personal loans, savings accounts, and all the stuff that you would look for in a bank. The good thing about Santa Cruz, in my experience, is administratively they're just more efficient. They're definitely much more efficient than Banco BH de Leon. The downside with Banco Santa Cruz is they do not have a lot of branches. They only have a few branches throughout the country. And so therefore, in some areas that you're living in, if you're not in one of the major tourist areas such as like Punta Cana, puertoplata, and of course, if you're not in, they're pretty much all over Santodomingo, but not as much as the other banks. And if you're ever looking to go to a branch, you may have to go a little further out of your way to get to a branch. Banco Santa Cruz, in my opinion, they tend to have folks that speak English. So if you don't speak any Spanish, in my experience, they tend to have folks that speak English. And I'm sure that you have other branches from the other banks that speak English as well, but not as frequent as in my experience as you will find with people who work for Banco Santa Cruz. Now, I'm going to talk about Banco Popular. Now, Banco Popular was the third bank I began to work with. And I opened my account with Banco Popular as a resident. Big difference. Banco Popular, if you are a frequent traveler or snowbirder, long-term tourist, whatever the case is, but you're not a resident and you're not a citizen, they have 3 pages long of requirements. 3 pages long of requirements. I'm telling you, when I first saw those 3 pages, I was like, I ain't dealing with that. Where you have BHD, Leon, they only had, maybe like 6 lines of stuff that I had to do to open up a bank account. And for Banco Santa Cruz, they only had 1 page, not even a full page, just 1 page of requirements. But Banco Popular, 3 pages of requirements as a non-resident and non-citizen. So forget that. But when you are a resident, they only have a few things. I mean, you're talking about less than a half a page of requirements. Less than a half a page of requirements. So you have 3 pages versus less than 1/2 of a page of requirements. So if you are a resident, I highly recommend that you open up an account with Banco Popular. So with Banco Popular, it's everywhere. They have branches everywhere, just like Banco BHD. They are everywhere. The difference is, in my opinion, Banco Popular, they are more efficient. They're more efficient in the way they do business. They are more efficient in the way they deal with lines and a lot of people. They are, in my opinion, the most technologically advanced bank in the Dominican Republic. Whenever you are dealing with anything, whenever you go to the branch and you're dealing with anything, you have to use your thumbprint or fingerprint, excuse me. You won't find that in any of the other branches, any of the other banks. So the other thing with Banco Popular is they offer some of the best programs. Look at their credit cards and their awards and all that stuff. I mean, you would look at Banco Popular and they tend to have the same type of programs you would see if you were looking at some of the major banks in the United States, like Bank of America or Chase or Citibank. Like Banco Popular is almost on the same tier as those banks. The way they operate here and what they offer. Also, Banco Popular is definitely quicker to give loans, quicker to open up credit card accounts for foreigners. They just operate and are just better at doing business than the other 2 banks I mentioned. The downside with Popular is I would say, is they do not have the most user-friendly application. So, when you have an application with a bank, and if you have like 3 phones, you can go into any of those phones, download the application, log into your account, username, password, you're in. That's how it works with all the banks I'm talking about in this video, apart from Popular. Popular, you can only use one cell phone, one application, and there's a token that is tied to that phone. So therefore, and you register that token on that phone when you open up your account. So therefore, that's the only phone you can actually use. So for me, a person who has more than one phone, I like to be able to use whatever phone I have access to go into my account. Or with Banco Popular, I can only use one phone. That's something that I do not like about Popular. It may seem like a small thing for you all, but I don't like that. Also with Popular, with this banking application, you cannot transfer money to an external bank using the application. But when I use, I couldn't do that. I could not do that with Banco Santa Cruz neither. But I could do it with Banco BHD, and I could do it with Reservas, which I will talk about later. Banco Popular is probably the bank that most people use here who are not affiliated with the government, right? I feel like most people in the business world, white collar business world in the Dominican Republic, bank more with Banco Popular than any other bank. Banco Popular, again, you can open up accounts in dollars and I believe in euros as well, and dollars and pesos. They offer a lot of good programs there, like I mentioned before, a lot of services. they tend to take their time though when it comes to their application processes. However, they offer the best, in my opinion. They offer the best. So if you're going to get a credit card, for example, I like credit cards where they have the different programs where you can earn points and awards and this and that. They offer the best with Popular, hands down. So if that's your thing, Popular is the bank you want to focus on. Banco de Reservas or BanReservas. BanReservas is the state bank here in the Dominican Republic. I just read in a news article that in the first quarter of 2023, they are opening up a branch in Madrid, Spain. And later in 2023, they will be opening up a branch in Miami and a branch in New York. And the whole idea of all this is to provide banking and loan opportunities for Dominicans living abroad. So let me get back to the bank. So that's the bank that I use the most. I use Banco de Reservas the most. Why is that? Their application is very easy to use. I really like easy technology that's not complicated and provides so many layers of security or layers of this or just messy. I like things to be clean and easy to use, and that is what the banking application for Banco de Reservas. Also, Banco de Reservas is pretty much everywhere. They're everywhere. And also, they tend to give out credit cards and loans fairly easy, just as easy as Banco Popular, but faster. Banco de Reservas, the downside, and this is a big downside with Banco de Reservas, a huge downside, is the bank is always crowded. Always has a long line, and you be out there in the sun, and you be out there, brushed up against people, sweating just to get into the bank, just to talk to somebody in the service center. Man, it's just so much. It's just busy. That bank is busy. But living in Santodomingo, you figure out where to go and when to go. And I can tell you this. If you are banking with Banco de Reservas, which I really, really recommend, go to the bank and an upscale mall. Go to an upscale mall and go to the bank. Where do I go? I don't care. I'll give out the secret. I go to Blue Mall. If I'm going to Banco de Reservas, once you have one right by the place where I'm living at, like literally I can walk there, it's always crowded. Man, I went there an hour before it opened, and I didn't get seen until an hour after it opened. Yeah, I got in line an hour before it opened, and I didn't get seen until an hour after they opened. Yeah, so it's not worth your time, man. Go to a place, if you're Santo Domingo, go to Blue Mall. I'd even say go to a Agora Mall. Go to one of those two malls, and you'll find that there are literally little to no lines. If you go at certain times, like just after the lunch rush, there's nobody. Yo, I went into a Banco de Reservas. I went in at around 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I was the only one in there. There was no one at the teller, which they call la caja here. There was no one at the teller. There was no one at the customer service or negocio. No one. I mean, everyone was sitting there on their phones, just chatting, laughing, joking around, because there was no one in there. I've never seen a Banco de Reservas like that. Every time I've seen a Banco de Reservas, there was always dozens and dozens of people, whether inside or a long line outside. So yeah. So get back to Banco de Reservas. They have an easy to use application. The people there, to me personally, the customer service on average tends to be better than what you will find in Banco BHD. Probably, if not, maybe not on par that you'll find with Banco Popular or Banco Santa Cruz, but close to it. Also, they have a wide variety of accounts. You can open up account in euros, dollars, and pesos. And also, the cool thing about their account in dollars is you can actually open up an account in dollars and get a debit card for that account. So you can have your account in pesos and have a debit account for that card in pesos, and open up an account in dollars and have a debit card for that account in dollars. Yeah, which is really cool. So if you're traveling and you don't want to use pesos because you don't want to lose money in the conversion, you can just use dollars and then use that dollars debit card. And you won't get them confused because the one in pesos is orange in the middle and the one in dollars is blue in the middle, which is pretty cool. Also, their credit cards, they have some decent credit cards, but again, Banco Popular has the best credit cards out of all these out of all these banks. And their credit cards that they offer one with straight pesos, or you can get one in straight dollars, or you can get one with both dollars and pesos. So the credit card I have with Banco de Reservas, I have in pesos and I have in dollars. So when you use it in dollars, it doesn't take away the equivalent in pesos, which is pretty cool. So you can use in dollars and turn around and use in pesos for that same amount, right? So which is cool. Let's see. Also with Reservas, I feel like Reservas is probably the easiest bank account I open up out of all these four banks. The second easiest was Banco Santa Cruz. Third, I guess the Banco BHD and Banco Popular was a tie. But definitely Banco de Reservas was the easiest account that I opened. And each account that I opened, whether it was in pesos, dollars, credit card, another account that I opened up, it was easy. And I was able to get everything established in one sitting. I mean, you can go there, apply, and leave with a card in your hand. The only thing is for the credit card, I applied and was approved, but I had to come back when the card was ready, because that card actually has your name on it, and the other cards do not have your name on it. And yeah, that's basically it. I can tell you for a mortgage, as a foreigner, I haven't gone through the process yet, but based on the knowledge that I know, you will probably get a mortgage faster with Banco de Reservas or Banco Popular. Let's see, what's some of the things that you all may ask about this? Which would I recommend? I think I went through the recommendations before, but I'll touch on it again, recommendations. I recommend for foreigners who do not speak Spanish, I recommend Banco Santa Cruz. I recommend for foreigners that do speak Spanish and that loves the credit cards and the different rewards and programs and getting points. And if you want to get a credit card with that has where you earn miles with JetBlue or United, I would go with Banco Popular. Also, Scotiabank, what I see, does have some good programs too, good credit card programs as well. But I don't have any experience with Scotiabank, so I'm not going to talk about that. But also hit that Scotiabank is really good for that as well. They have American Airlines mileage card. If that's something you're interested in. So yeah, if you speak Spanish, Banco de Reservas, Banco Popular. If you're really into credit cards and stuff like that, Banco Popular. If you are one that plan on getting a mortgage or you want to build credit by getting a small loan on top of getting whatever credit card you can get, I recommend Banco de Reservas. If you want to have a card and account in dollars, you want to be able to spend that with that account in dollars using a debit card in case you're, while you're in country or you're traveling, or even you're traveling, it's better to use a credit card. But if you are that type of person, I recommend Banco de Reservas. So as you can see, I recommended each bank for different reasons, with the exception of Banco BHD. Banco BHD, I would only recommend dealing with Banco BHD if you want easy access to the branch and easy access to ATMs, because they are everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere. So that's the only reason why I would recommend that bank. If you're that type of person that likes to actually go into the bank and deposit and deal with the customer service at the bank, I recommend Banco BHD. Apart from that, I would recommend the other three for three different reasons. So that sums up this video. I really hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions about banking in the Dominican Republic, or you have any questions about building credit in the Dominican Republic, the processes in the Dominican Republic with opening up accounts or things of that nature, write in the comments the question and I'll get back to you. You can also hit me up on IG, Profe Gallo. I'll get back to you. And if you got something out of this video, or if you just like it, or just like me, please give me a like, subscribe, share with your family and friends. And thank you for watching my video, and stay tuned for more content. Peace. What up, my people? Hola, mi gente. Gracias por tu apoyo. Da me gusta, sigue mi canal y comparte con toda tu familia. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please give it a like and subscribe and share with all your family if you enjoy my content. Peace.